What are these aged four-eyed mustached metal faces found in a late man's lockbox? The said man was born in 1951 and died in 2000. He was born and raised in Rhode Island and moved to Alaska in the 80s. I don't know if it helps, but it does give a timeline. I mention where they were found because otherwise I have no idea where they came from. They are vintage Wilton beer bottle openers from around the 40s. It's a barware that will open any bottle, with double vision because of being drunk. The holes in the ears are for screwing them to a door or door frame near the fridge, where you store the beer. What is this thing? I was doing some filling in the yard and found this. My wife says it's a gravestone, but I think it's a survey marker. I am not related nor do I know who this person is. This was not the owner we bought our property from, but could be a prior owner. The house was built in 1935, according to my housing documents. The property has been parceled since the late 1890s to the very early 1900s. I read all the paperwork and found out a lot of things. In the 50s the house was actually picked up and moved to the current location before the date on this thing. I know there have been reports of drug users decades ago that used to inhabit the house. We just want some peace of mind. There is nothing else under the plaque. What is this thing? After a quick look-up on Ancestry, a newborn named Jacques L. Areola was born and died on 24 July 1968 in Fresno. The mother's maiden name is Bobst. And yes, that is a grave marker. I'm not sure if it was a marker on hospital grounds or some version of a potter's field in Fresno. It could also have been a temporary marker until the family could afford something better. The code across the bottom could be Lawn 6 Grave 3 Row 2. But that's pure speculation. There have been instances where entire graveyards get exhumed and relocated. Also, if a potter's field, individual graves may get reused after a long period. What are these World War II metal plates with the soldier's name on reverse? They measure 2 inches by a ½ inch, and I believe they are brass. They were in my father's things, and he was in the army in 1945. He always told us he was in some kind of top-secret agency. His name is stamped on the back of the pieces. Any idea where these might have come from? They look more like inventory tags or badges. They would go on everything from desks to typewriters to whatever. I remember I had a job once removing and cataloging similar metal tags from decades-old computers when I worked at a community college because someone found them in an old classroom. I found this object at Goodwill today. The bowl felt like glass, and the other part was wooden. It was between 3 to 4 feet tall and about 2 feet diagonally. What is this thing? It's a Victorian-era wash basin from the days before indoor plumbing. The ring underneath is where a large ewer stood. It seems to be missing the handles, mirror, and pitcher. What is this unusually large press quarter? It's around 2.5 inches in diameter. I found it in a house I just bought. The house was built in the 50s. I don't really know what else to say about it. Any ideas? Looks like some jumbo Buffalo Indian nickel trinket. These were pretty common when I was a kid in the 70s, but I haven't seen one in decades. I don't think they had any purpose other than novelty. I think I got it at the gift shop at Stuckey somewhere. It seems it had a rough life. Really? Looks like it's been used for something and got a lot of damage over the years. What is this stuff in the attic? The house was built in the 20s in New Jersey. It looks like small pebbles. Any ideas? It is vermiculite insulation, which at that age may contain asbestos. When heated to a high temperature, flakes of vermiculite expand as much as 8 to 30 times their original size. The expanded vermiculite is a lightweight, fire-resistant, and odorless material, and has been used in numerous products, including insulation for attics and walls. When they are disturbed, tiny asbestos fibers are released into the air. When these fibers are breathed in, they may get trapped in the lungs and remain there for a long time. Over time, accumulated asbestos fibers can cause tissue inflammation and scarring, which can affect breathing and lead to serious health problems, including cancers of the lung, larynx, and ovary. I would suggest you stop going into the attic now. What is this remote control type thing? It's keychain sized and needs 2 AAA batteries, and may possibly emit noise. It's otherwise made of standard plastic, around 7.5 by 2 by 4 centimeters with a CE label on it, but no model numbers. Any ideas? It is a breathalyzer. 0.05 and 0.02 are the relevant limits in most European countries. You hold down the power button until the LED turns green, then blow across the top of the grill. If the LED light stays green, you're under 0.05%. If it turns yellow, then you're on the edge of being over the legal limit. Think about an alternate way home instead of driving. A red light is bad, meaning your blood alcohol content is too high. What is this 5-inch rusty metal tool with a grip and a wrench found in western North Carolina? I found it in the trees behind my home where folks used to toss trash. Our neighborhood was built in the 1950s with a few homes older than that. Any ideas? It's an antique horse-drawn plow wagon clevis from the 1920s. It is used for a horse or mule-drawn plow or carriage. The pin doubles as a wrench for wagon repair or adjustments. These are seldom seen as most are just a screw pin without the wrench end. Here's a picture of it attached to a horse-drawn plow. What is this 50-plus-year-old small magnifying device? It's rectangular and about 4 by 3 by 4 centimeters. One of the short sides has a viewing hole. One of the long sides has a glass panel, another of the short sides has holes in the solid wood top, and the other sides are just wood. Looking through the hole looks like viewing an empty slide on a low-power microscope. Out of focus. What is this thing? That is a viewfinder for a 1904 Kodak camera, manufactured by the Eastman Kodak Company from 1904 to 1907. It is capable of taking pictures 2 1/4 by 3 1/4 inches in size, originally priced at $5. What is this weird truck found on a private lot on the outskirts of Warsaw, Poland? Possibly Soviet. Is it an ambulance or maybe inmate transport? It has some kind of bars in the windows and a bizarre cabinet in the back. I could not take a picture in the front, but the number 1943 is visible at the back. The tires are in good condition, so possible recent use. Any ideas? The truck itself should be ZIL 157 with a shelter, a general-purpose 6x6 truck commonly called as Kung shelters. This was produced in the Soviet Union from 1958 to 1977, and it continued even after the fall of the Soviet, but eventually ended in 1994. This was mostly intended for use by the Red Army, but it was also popular with forestry companies. But this one seems to be either a mobile workshop or some other sort of dedicated equipment carrier. I'm just curious about the cylindrical cases these soldiers carry around their necks. This was posted to my World War II modeling group, and they can't come to a consensus. People have guessed map cases, gas masks, and emergency food rations, but there is no agreement. Any ideas? Please leave us a comment. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.